How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews. Back with yet another review. A little bit of itsy bitsy teeny weeny. No, there's no yellow polka dot bikinis going to be involved in today's review. It's a little bit of milk stout, tiny little ABV milk stout in the form of Night Shift Brewing's Cow Tipper. Yeah. I don't think I've ever had this before. I've been to Night Shift a couple times. I've had quite a few of their beers, but I don't believe I've had this one. So, yeah. Excited to give it a whirl. First things first. Low ABV. It's 4.9% alcohol by volume. It was canned about, 3 weeks ago. It was brought to me by George. You all know George, Master Troll Reviews. He came back from a little porting trip, popped through Boston, and brought back some goodies. And here we are. Thank you very much, George. As far as what it says in this can, it says Cow Tipper Chocolate Milk Stout. Stout brewed with chocolate and lactose. Night Shift Brewing Company. And that'd be that. Yeah. Likewise, it's cool. It's the Night Shift logo with a little bit of kind of spotted cow thing going on. But yeah, 4.9% alcohol by volume. I dig it. Do you know what I mean? But there always is this kind of... I can get this kind of metallic astringency thing from low ABV dark beers. Sometimes it can be curbed a little bit with that lactose, but it's very kind of... I'm sensitive, or should I say picky, for lack of a better term, or even a better term, when it comes to these kind of lower ABV beers, especially the dark ones. So when they miss pretty big for me, but when they hit pretty well. So hopefully this one is in the latter. Index finger, infinite creaminess, super tight compact bubbles, and she be dark. Guess what? It looks like a stout. How about that? So yeah, we're off to a proper start. See if we get a nose on her. Rich chocolate, a little bit of like a kind of like a grainy, powdery, kind of husky kind of chocolate. It's not like a super syrupy kind of thing going on in there. Subtle kind of roasted notes, not necessarily coffee, but just kind of like a roasted malt kind of vibe to it. And that lactose does come through. It's a subtle vanilla vibe, but it's nothing too crazy. But there's a nice robustness to the beer. Not much bittering, but it smells like there is a bit of bittering in there, which is nice. I always like, I love me some big sweet beers, but I like a bit of balance to them. I don't want an overt amount of bitterness, but enough to kind of balance everything out. And it smells like this one might have this on lock. But yeah, it smells nice, it smells roasty, smells chocolatey, and that lactose just adds that little bit of kind of fluffy, vanilla-y kind of sweetness that you want from these kind of lower ABV milk stouts. So yeah, she looks the part, she smells the part. Hopefully she tastes the part. Cheers. That's tasty. I do get a little bit of that kind of metallic nickel-y thing in there. It's just inherent with these kind of lower ABV beers. You figure at this point I want to really kind of crack down and figure out why I'm actually tasting that, being that I kind of do this as a hobby so often. But I'm sure it's just the way the roasted malt kind of comes off at this lower ABV. I believe that a higher ABV portion of the show, beer-wise, kind of curbs that. So when you're actually kind of trying to get this big, rich, dark roast out of the beer at such a lower ABV, kind of doing a little bit of kind of squeezing water from a stone kind of thing at that point. You're trying to get a big, robust malt at a lower ABV. That's kind of where I'm getting that kind of, that bit of astringency from that big roasted malt coming off, but not necessarily at a higher ABV. So you have that going in there, but it's pretty... you can navigate around it, let's put it that way. It's not super in the front, even though it's pretty much the first thing I mentioned when it comes to a lot of these lower ABV big dark beers. Nice mouthfeel to it, nice creaminess to it. Got enough more porter-esque than anything else. That chocolate is nice, definitely comes off really bittering. Again, it's probably where the little bit of astringency is coming from also. And the lactose isn't as big as you thought it would be based off of the nose. There is a little bit of creaminess there. There is a little bit of vanilla, but the malt definitely carries the day in this one. The roasted portion of the malt definitely carries the day in this one. And that lactose, while being there, it's not balanced with that big roasted malt. It's a little bit smaller. I kind of like it, though, to be perfectly honest with you. People can tend to throw kind of milk sugar at beer willy-nilly nowadays, regardless of style. And to see it used a little bit more kind of delicately in this beer is kind of fun. be perfectly honest with you. So I dig it. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better, lower ABV milk stouts that I've had as of late. It's tasty, but it's kind of on the outside looking in for me. Just that bit of imbalance there. While kind of fun in the moment, I don't think it's something that would really want to carry me past more than one of these beers. But at the same time, it's, the combination of that metallic astringency with that little bit of kind of overt roastiness, combined with that kind of minimal kind of lactose vibe, just leaves a little bit disjointed to the point where it's tasty, but at the same time doesn't blow me away. Value and availability, again, it's night shift, lower ABV beer, but it's lactose based. I'm guessing anywhere between $14 and $18 a 4-pack. Brewery only, maybe. I know there's stuff that hits the shelves out there. And if you like what we like this, if you like actually the big roasty based stouts, but you want them in a smaller package, because it does deliver impact. And I didn't really talk about that all that much. It delivers a big roasty, toasty, stout leg wrapped in a kind of porter vibe feel, mouthfeel wise, bigger beer in a low package, and that's kind of cool. That in and of itself is fun enough to kind of give it a whirl. So if you like big roasty beers, but you want something that's not huge in the ABV, it's definitely worth checking out. Or if you like good breweries, Night Shift does a bunch of fun little beers here and there, big beers here and there too. So brewery that knows what they're doing well, fun beers. Check it out. Words. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. If you didn't, anywhere in between, down there, words and stuff and things. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tapped Massive Beers. All 4 of those places if you want to check this dude out anywhere else. And another review down. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully enjoying a nice cow tipper right now. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.